Hi guys, I just wanted to show you a few of the examples of the bees that I was telling you about before. I had shown you the poppy card, and then I had shown you this bee card that we had created in Club. This is the paper that I was talking about. It's no longer available. It has since sold out since we spoke last. But because I had the opportunity to go ahead and buy the paper, and I could not justify buying the stamp set that comes with it. I'll show you a picture of that though. I went ahead and created this because this is the stamp set that I do have. And this is an old set. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the process of how I created this cute little memory dex card. This is going to someone very special, and before I send it off, I wanted you all to see it, and I wanted you all to walk through the steps of me creating this. But it's an example of basically me using old paper and brand new paper from the stuff that's available. And even though I really like this stamp set, I just couldn't justify it since I do have some bee stuff already. So there's that. And then I'm just going to walk you guys through the process of creating this one. So stay tuned so you guys can see how that's done. Talk to you soon. Bye. So I've placed the memory dex cards right on the cardstock here. I've sandwiched it. Well, I'm getting ready to sandwich it between these two. I have one on the bottom and then one right here on the top. And I'm going to go ahead and run these through. As you can see here, I've done a lot of cutting in the past, but nothing happens until they get a little bit warped, in which case then that's when you want to go ahead and just replace them. But you're going to go ahead and sandwich these in like this, and then you just run it through the Big Shot, and then it'll create its... Sorry, it's going to move. It's going to move the camera, but that's just kind of the way I have to do it, because I'm one-handed otherwise. Oh, goodness. Okay, so as you can see, I'm moving it through the machine, and then it'll pop right back out on the other side. And when you remove this, it will have cut out the memory dex card. So, hang on. As you can see here, sorry guys, I'm just kind of trying to film this, and I'm not really used to this setup, so, but, to kind of get an idea. So it kind of cuts it out like that. And then you end up with the memory dex cards that you can go ahead and just create. So there's that, and I'll show you the rest in a little bit. So this is the set that you'll be watching me create things with. It's a really old stamp set that I've had for quite some time. It's from Stampin' Up, and it's called Just Buzzin' By. I'm not a distributor or anything, and this is not a, any type of, request for sale or anything. This is just the stamps that I happen to use the most because I do just shop from them. They do have some decent stamps. But again, this is a super old set. I'm not exactly sure what year they are from, but they all are older, and they're probably not available anymore. But that's what I'm going to be using to show you guys how to create my little memory dex card. And also I will go ahead and show you the new paper that I did get recently that I'm going to probably try to incorporate into this as well. And also just old scrapped paper that I use. So, oops, well, probably not the dinosaur. Sorry, I'm one-handed. I'm holding the dog. But just little scrap papers. This is an example of what I say when I tell you that I save every little scrap. That's what I'm doing. This is from another project that I had. See the dinosaurs on the back of that? But that to me looks kind of like honey. So that's what I do. I save things like that, and I incorporate it into my projects. So I will be back with the next steps. I'm using Early Espresso Stampin' Spot, and this is just kind of like a brown. It does come out pretty dark, so if you're not a fan of the darker, almost black color, probably you want to use a different color, maybe a lighter brown. But that is what I'm using right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp the honeycomb. And what I do is I usually just flip the stamp, and I will go ahead and just pat it this way. If you have a larger ink pad, then you might be able to do it a different way. But either way, even when I use larger ones, I still stamp it this way versus putting it down like that. It tends to get more ink on your stamp pad when you do it that way, and it ends up making more of a mess on your paper than it does help. So again, here's some more scrap paper. You see, I kind of played with it on another project recently. So you just make sure that you press down throughout. This is slightly larger, so you don't want to rock it, but press down, and there's your little honeybee. So I'm going to honeycomb. I'm going to go ahead and do that with the rest of these little stamps. And what's going to happen is I'll just pick and choose what ones I want to use for my project. So there's all that. Okay. Okay, so I have finished stamping everything out. And by the way, earlier I said honeycomb. Obviously, this is not honeycomb. This is a hive. I don't happen to have a honeycomb in this kit, and I'm actually working on that. I'm going to try to get a honeycomb from either Amazon or maybe preferably, something that's just separate honeycomb. I don't need all the other stuff. So we'll see. Maybe I can find something. If you guys know of anywhere to get just a simple honeycomb that would fit this, let me know. But anyway, long and short, after I stamped this hive out, I went ahead and stamped all the rest of the little images that I have. And as you can see here, I had one kind of a mishap here where I did not stamp enough into the middle of the stamp. And instead of saying honey, it's kind of like cut off. So I had to restamp it over there. So again, this is just kind of, this is me. I obviously make mistakes just like everyone else in their art projects. So they don't turn out perfect all the time. Just kind of redo and move on with your life. But what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and probably take some watercolor pencils and color all this in. I might add a little bit of glittery stuff to the little wings on these little bees, and I'll go ahead and finish creating this, and I'll show you the process. Hey guys, so to give you an idea of what we're working with here, I actually pulled some watercolor pencils from also Stampin' Up. Again, this isn't sponsored, guys. I just happen to use a lot of their products. But I went ahead and kind of sampled it out over here, and I was looking to see which color would match probably a hive a little bit better. And I went ahead and went with the crushed curry. And what this is a watercolor pencil. So you pencil it in like you normally would any type of watercolor. And then you would take a blending pen, which is one of these, again, from Stampin' Up, but you can use any type of blending pen. Others carry it as well. But you would take the blending pen and you would just kind of go over it like this. It almost creates a watercolor effect when you do it that way. So you fill it in that way. And you just keep on going until you get the whole hive or whatever you're coloring completed. So it just ends up looking kind of like watercolors when you do that. And there is no, I'm not sure what the liquid is in this, but there's no water. We don't fill these up with anything. There are markers that you do fill up with water, but this is not one of them. This is just a blending pen. It just blends this in. You can use these also with the regular ink, like the ink one, the stamp pads for the stamps that you just ink up and use. You can use the blending pen off of that as well and just kind of create like a little watercolor effect on your paper. And it works even better if you have watercolor paper. I don't have watercolor paper. I'm planning on buying some, but I probably wouldn't use it for one of these. I would just probably just do what I'm doing now with this. But the watercolor paper is really nice. I've used it before on some flowers, and it turns out really nice. But anyway, that's kind of the idea, and I'm going to continue to do that with all the rest of my stamps that I've stamped up in here with different colors, and all of them are going to just be with these watercolor pencils. So I have the extended version, and then I have the original box that I had gotten before. So that's what I'm working with today, and I'll show you my finished product. Okay, so this is my finished little project here. And as you can see, I created a little card that has my information in it, just kind of my favorite color, other favorite things that I, happen to like, hobbies, that sort of thing. So it gives the recipient just kind of an idea of what I'm all about and that sort of thing. But that little guy will get tucked in back here. I created a little pocket, and it'll just get tucked in back here. And that's kind of, a lot of the Memory-Dex cards, that's kind of the way they are. They're either tucked in or clipped on or, something like that. But that's the back of my the little Memory-Dex card. And then the front of it is a bunch of little bees in the hive. And then the one thing that I don't believe I mentioned in the video is I added some glitter to the wings. I don't know if you can see that on film. Kind of just a slight little bit of glitter right there. I think I see that there on this little guy, this little dude here. There's just slight glitter, and that's called Wink of Stella, and you can find that, I believe, through Amazon too. I actually got it through Stampin' Up! As well, but you should be able to find it at any of the stores, and if I can find it through Amazon, I'll go ahead and link it below. There is a lot of items that I do buy through Amazon that I can link below, some of the tools that I use and the glue that I use. I usually buy in Amazon just because it's a little bit less expensive sometimes. These I always buy through Amazon, this glue stick, the glue tape. But that's that. And then I will go ahead and link those things below. But this is my finished little Memory-Dex card. And I think it turned out pretty cute. I really enjoyed it. It was nice to spend the afternoon doing this. And I'm looking forward to some more projects. I'll talk to you all soon. I hope you guys are having a really good day. Bye-bye.